Hey YouTube, JW. Got a couple vintage Smith&Wesson automatics I want to show you guys. I got these in a trade with a really good guy, and pretty cool. I like the old Smith&Wesson knives. You know, these are the ones that are made in the USA, and I would say these are probably from the mid 90s maybe, and most of these, you know, law enforcement and military, whether these were actual issue or not, you know, I really don't know a lot about them, but it's the SW1400S, and yeah, this is SW1400S as well, so it's both the same number. And I've got another one that is pretty beat up that I showed you guys in a previous video that I kind of just use as a user. It says U.S. Army issue. Armed forces only, law enforcement and military. The first one, it's a big folder, man. I mean, huge. Basically new old stock condition. The prices on these really vary because, I mean, they're not really that common, but you know, most people just automatically when they see Smith&Wesson just think of, you know, it's new, China, you know, it's so common now with the Chinese knives, but I like them. I love this era of stuff. So you're looking at a little over a 9-inch blade altogether, so it's a big boy. Pretty fair lockup, you know. It's nothing to write home about. It's just cool. It says, you know, military issue USA. And this one I've seen, you know, a few of them around, as well as this one here. But this other one here, until he showed it to me, I had never seen it ever before. It's got the Smith&Wesson USA standard nylon belt sheath, but really this one is it reminded me when I first saw it of maybe an old Paragon USA knife. And somebody had made a comment on my Instagram saying that it looks similar to an older Benchmade that I'm not familiar with. But this one definitely, I think, looks cooler than the other ones. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's a Navy SEAL emblem on there with the trident. It's a little bit worn, but the knife doesn't look like it's ever been used. I mean, there's not a scuff or a scratch on it, so that's kind of strange. But this one is definitely the coolest one, I think. And you're looking at, it's a little bit a little under 9 inches, a little bit shorter than this other one. You can see how small this other guy is here compared to these other ones. Out in my camper, it's about a million degrees in here without the air conditioner on, but it's the only place I could get away from the noise. But yeah, that one's only about 6.5. So, but it's interesting for me, at least, hopefully for you, to see 3 different generations or 3 different versions of the Smith&Wesson automatics, all made in the USA. and it's something you don't see every day, you know, and that's the kind of shit that I like. So yeah, pretty cool. So that's just a quick look at some new, basically new old stock retro Smiths autos that I got in that were, I guess, whether it was a marketing gimmick or whether it actually, I just think in the era of when these came out in the 90s was a time when automatics were still not as common and more illegal than what they are now, so maybe it was just a marketing ploy to actually make them and sell them, where it had to be only for law enforcement and military. I don't know. If anybody knows whether they were actually issued or not, because the quality of them and the way they're made, even though they were made in America, and it's a lot better than obviously what Smith&Wesson is now. So if anybody knows whether these were actually issued or not, leave a comment below. But I just wanted to show you guys these. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one.